When painting landscapes in watercolor, I have discovered that the easiest way to make sense of all of this is to go ahead and put in the trees by tracing or drawing them, and the hard man-made objects like the fence lines right here and right here. I'm going to use masking fluid to draw all of this just to keep it simple for you so that you can identify where the trees are and not lose them. It's very easy to lose the objects in a painting this complex. So we're going to do the outlines of the big shapes and basically the outline of where the trees are going to go, but we're going to fill that all in organically. The light is very important. We're going to save that. So let's get this traced out and then we will mask it. So this is our sketch for our painting. I've eliminated the geese just because I drew them in and they look too artificial and weird for this small format painting. So if you want to add them, you certainly can. I've elected not to. The focus of this painting is actually, we're practicing trees, so they're the focus of the painting. The light is always the focus of the painting. So that's what we're going to focus on. So I'm going to use this new masking fluid that's at least new to me. It's by Sminky, to mask out everything. And the first thing you have to do with this masking fluid is clear out the little nozzle of the masking fluid. It gets clogged up. So I keep a stick pin nearby, just keep that clean. And we are going to mask out all the trees, the fence, some highlights in the water, and try to leave the sky holes without masking those. We may have to go back in and do that, but we're going to try not to. So let me get this mask, and you can even get a finer line using a stylus like this with a little ball edge. So you can see what a fine line I can get. It just does require you to dip your stylus more often, but I like the variation in line weight that you can get with a stylus. This is that background fence. We're just suggesting it in here. Just, this is just to remind me that this is the edge of the tree line of the pine trees. We live on a pine tree farm. We have lots and lots of trees, pine trees, oak trees, cottonwood trees, all kinds of trees. So lots of subject matter. All right. I'm going to save out this one just because this is in the foreground. And our water is going to be somewhat dark. We don't need to save the leaves. Well, maybe we will. Maybe we'll save the leaves. If you don't like to use masking fluid, you certainly don't have to. I'm just trying to simplify your life, make this as easy as possible. And masking fluid seems to work for me to do that. But if you don't like it, you certainly don't have to use it. All right, so let's get our photograph back. And see what else we need to mask out. So there's a body of water back here, right in here. So I'm just going to mask that water out. Actually, we're going to do this whole thing and make this all water here. And let it fade kind of into here a little bit. And let's give some highlights in here. When you're doing highlights on water, it's best to not overthink it. Just make some marks. Carry your marks out. Try to mimic the movement of the water. Try not to repeat too many lines. And even some of this is just kind of back and forth wave action. It's not really waves, it's just little highlights in the water here and there, just to give it some interest. You can always, if you don't like these, you can always paint over them, so don't worry about that. Try not to make the same mark like that. And don't erase your masking fluid like I just did, or you will find it difficult to, that's going to be a big smeared place right there, but we'll deal with that later. I find that if I make a lot of these marks, I can just get rid of the ones I don't want as I paint. And if you're going to do lines, do them close together like this. If you notice how the highlights are here, they are just very close little lines on top, near each other. All right. This light that we've got coming down here from the fence line right here is a very important light coming on here. We want this to be very suggestive here. So I'm going to carry it on over to this, all the way over here. And I think we're going to try, we may put some sky holes in here, but I don't think we want to do that right now. So we'll wait on that. We'll do an underwash of the blue, and then we'll work around those sky holes as we go in here. Okay, I think that's all we're going to mask right now. If I see anything else, we'll add it. But I think once you get that, you are good. Except we've got a few more over in here maybe. In the background here. All right. And I'll take a photograph of this for you. Okay, here are our color choices for this painting. We have lemon yellow to make some of the lighter greens. We have transparent pyrrole orange for all this orange going on in here. We have cerulean blue, which we're going to use in the sky and in the water. Ultramarine blue to mix some of these darker greens. Phthalo green and burnt sienna to make a nice earthy green. That's Payne's gray, which we're going to use in these darker areas. We're going to wash it out to make the nice soft grays. We're going to use New Gambosian Payne's gray to make some of these dark greens. And we're going to use ultramarine blue and New Gamboge to make some of these more earthy greens that are mid-tones. So we're just going to tweak these colors and push them warm and push them cool and push them light and push them dark. So that's how we're going to get all this variation in color. We may add other colors as we go along, but this is basically all colors in our advanced palette. So, and some new colors for you to try. So as usual, the first thing we do is to do a background wash. And I usually start with the sky. So start with cerulean blue, a nice washy mixture. And because I know it's not going to affect the trees, I'm just going to go ahead and do a whole wash over this because we want some of this blue showing through here. So I'm going to take it all the way down here. A nice cerulean blue is my favorite blue for skies. It's just a nice, soft, safe blue to use. It does give you a nice, you can gray it out very easily with just a touch of an orange or a burnt sienna. You can make a nice gray tone with it. But I want this to all come through here. And also, down in the water, there is a body of water back here. I want that to show through here, a little bit even through the fence there. And then it comes down here. We want our water. This is just basically giving us an outline or a map so we know where the water is going to be and where the shore is. A little bit brighter cerulean down in this area. There is on the highlight, there's a highlight on some of this grasses here that are quite lighter. So we'll try to maintain that just to remind us it's there. And down here as well. Just kind of blend it in so it's not so standing out so separately from the rest of the painting. And that gives us our background wash. While that's still wet, we could go in with the green, just where, a very soft green, just where we know the green is going to be. Just to remind you. That's just with a mixture, very soft mixture of the ultramarine blue and the new gamboge. Okay. All right, I'm going to let that dry. Then we'll see where we go from there. We'll define that body of water better back there later. So for now, this is good for now. So let's let this dry.